fuel for him. Anthony Alfredo reports that the middle lane is the fastest, and he was loose on the bottom lane. He also stayed out of trouble moving up to the 10th position. 4 tires fuel, no adjustments. Steve Post.
75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
As we stay under the caution flag, the cars 1 or more laps down get the opportunity to come to pit road. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale Show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by STP. Earnhardt second.
The 1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is Sam Mayer, and you're listening to the NASCAR Xfinity Series on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We welcome you back to the World Center of Racing. We work the caution flag for the 3rd time in tonight's race. You know, we had a round of pit stops with the lead lap cars, Wendy Venturini, but we had one of those cars, and Anthony Alfredo, make a second stop. What was the problem?
Yes, he thought he had a loose wheel. It didn't feel comfortable. They saw a little bit of debris or dust coming from the wheel well, so they didn't want to take any chance. They assured him they will be able to make it back up. So he came down pit road. They checked all 4 lugs and topped it off with fuel, which could be a bonus for him come later on. But the team did report back that everything was solid. Anthony Alfredo left, made a lap, and said it feels much better.
So that's a report for Anthony Alfredo that at one point had cracked his way into the top 5. The field is getting the 1 to go signal right now with 35 to go. Austin Hill will take over the lead. Ryan Sieg will restart in 2nd. Dean Thompson 3rd. Sammy Smith 4th. However, they just came down the pit lane to top off, so that's going to change things with now Jesse Love taking over position number 5 and Sheldon Creed restarting in 6th.
The rest of the top 10 will see Parker Kligerman in relief for Connor Zilic. Zilic started the car. Kligerman got in it at the first caution flag. Justin Allgaier, who won stage number 2, he'll be back there in the top 10 with Justin Haley, Harrison Burton, Daniel Dye from nearby DeLand, Florida, having a good show here in the mid stages of this one.
Sammy Smith has led the most laps tonight with 18. Sam Mayer has led 16. Jesse Love has led 14. And then you drop off to Justin Haley, who has led a total of 7 laps. You've had a lot of drivers on the move since the restart. Good runs tonight from Sheldon Creed and Leland Honeyman. We talk about the advances of Dean Thompson for Sam Hunt Racing with a big old tired donut on the driver's side door. It's been a physical race, but it's not been a chaotic or calamitous race tonight.
Not yet. Let's hope it doesn't get that way.
I
like what we've seen so far. But yeah, a donut on the door here and there, that's not a problem at all. That's just good, hard pack racing here. We've seen 3 wide bust out quite a bit here tonight. We'll find out now as the laps get fewer to go here in the Wawa 250. There'll be 34 to go, and they take the green flag. Who's going to be the one to make the move and force the issue? Because track position, well, if you're in the top 5, 10 cars right now, you're in a pretty good spot. But everybody else behind you wants to be where you are.
The top 4 on the chose the outside. Jesse Love in 5th will slide all the way up to the inside row, and he will start wheel to wheel with his teammate. Pace cars on pit road. 34 to go in Daytona. The field's entering the restart zone. Green flag is back up, and nobody is getting away. Austin Hill will squirt out front by maybe a fender, but here comes Jesse Love. He'll pound his way back to the bottom of the racetrack. It's a wall of RCR race cars leading them back to the corner.
corner. Essentially a dead even restart, although now Austin Hill will get a big time push from behind. He will take the lead now into turn number 2, onto the back straightaway. Austin Hill, Ryan Sieg to second.
Here's Sieg, starts to weave and bob back and forth, goes left, goes right, has to be careful because Dean Thompson is on the move to the high side, and Jesse Love down low.
Jesse Love charging hard on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll pull even with Ryan Sieg for the second spot. Meanwhile, it's Austin Hill trying to make his Chevrolet as wide as possible as the race leader.
Off turn number 4, Anthony Alfredo's car, very slow on the restart. He's tried to take his car on the skid pad, but he's not going to be able to get it out of harm's way. It's going to come to a rest between the tri-oval and turn number 1, and that's going to put us under the caution flag now for the 4th time. Again, it was Anthony Alfredo. Wendy, what's the issue there with the Alfredo car?
He did not have any power on that restart, and he said, I would have gotten out of the way. I was in the middle of the pack, and then he couldn't turn left off the track, so he was asking for someone to push him, but now it's brought out the caution.
At the same time, Sam Mayer's on pit road in front of Jason Toy.
Having a little bit of an issue on the left rear. They came in and poured 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles on there. Make sure they got some fuel in there. Now they're going and checking around, making sure everything is up on the race car. A little bit of contact that he had out there on that restart.
It was close quarters. Everybody pushing and shoving and bottling up just a bit. The restart zone here is right at the entrance to the tri-oval.
They're a neighbor you
so
like.
We'll see if...
Let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Back at Daytona, we continue under the caution flag. The field comes out at turn number 4. Pit road is open. Green lights are flashing, and everybody in the front 5, front 10, front 15 or so will stay onto the racetrack. That means Austin Hill continues to lead. Jesse Love, Sheldon Creed, Ryan Sieg, and Dean Thompson are the top 5. Parker Kligerman driving in relief for Connor Zilisch will restart in the 6th position with Justin Allgaier, Justin Haley, Harrison Burton, and Daniel Dye rounding out the top 10. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Looking for a weekly motorsports podcast to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
NASCAR fans, get ready to feel the rush. The official NASCAR Tracks app is your ultimate race day companion. From managing your event tickets to navigating with wayfinding maps, event schedules, and facility info, it's got everything you need to make your experience unforgettable.
Ready, green flag, green
Bring
flag.
your headphones and dive into the action like never before with live scanner access.
Got a race to win, my man.
Listen in on driver and team communications at select NASCAR Tracks. Download NASCAR Tracks now in the Apple App Store or Google Play.
This is Austin Hill, and you're listening to the NASCAR Xfinity Series on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, we continue under the caution flag. 4th one of the evening. 30 laps to go when they come to the line. And right now, it's all RCR at the front of the field. Austin Hill, Jesse Love, 1 and 2. And if you're just joining us, Connor Zilisch started this race tonight. However, Parker Kligerman has climbed in relief. And as we shuffle through the rundown with cars darting off and on pit road, Parker, in that number 88 car for Junior Motorsports, finds himself in the 5th position, again with 30 laps remaining.
And Steve Post, it's been quite the orchestrated, I guess you could call it ballet, with the driver change and staying on the lead lap and having a good night.
Yeah, they really did a nice job. They just focused the first time in on the driver change, and they got Connor out of the race car, and then there was some padding and some adjustments made, and they were able to remove that and get everything fitted for Parker, get him in, get buckled in. He rolled back on the racetrack. The pace car was still in turn number 4, so they did one thing at a time. They got him back out, caught up, then they came down, made some adjustments on the race car, topped it off with Sunoco Racing fuel, and it's just really, really orchestrated well. Marty Lindley is the crew chief, and he is as buttoned up as they get. Not a shocker that thing was about as seamless and flawless as possible. Parker reporting the car's a little bit loose. They tightened it up the last time. We'll see how he runs here in the final stage of this race.
It's amazing, Alex, how successful Junior Motorsports has been here in 2025. There's no question about it.
It has, when you look at what they've been able to do. 13 wins, 6 different drivers have gone to victory lane for Junior Motorsports here in the 2025 season, with Connor Zilic showing the way on the win column. Justin Allgaier, Sammy Smith, Kyle Larson, Daniel Suarez, Shane Van Gisbergen, all have been able to get to victory lane for Junior Motorsports this year. Heck, as a matter of fact, JRM has won 8 of the last 10 races, I should say. So they are on a bit of a heater right now as we get set for playoff racing coming up in a couple of weeks.
And I would not rule them out tonight, even though RCR has a penchant for winning on super speedways. So does Junior Motorsports, and they have had a very fruitful 2025 season. Right now on the racetrack, Austin Hill and Jesse Love have doubled up behind the safety car. Actually, Love will choose to restart behind Austin Hill. It's Sheldon Creed that is third on the leaderboard that has chosen to restart on the inside lane, and he will lead that inside charge with Austin Hill to his outside. When they come to the line and to the restart zone, it'll be 29 laps to go.
So that means Richard Childress Racing has already lined up nose to tail that outside lane. Green flag goes back in the air. Watch they go yet again, racing their way back into turn number 1. What a restart from the inside lane. Sheldon Creed has got a trunk full of drafting help headed to turn 1.
They will try and shove him out into the open air and succeed in doing so. Sheldon Creed goes to the number 1 position. Now pulls away by about a car length as they go 2 by 2 for second. Ryan Sieg and Austin Hill.
Parker Kligerman is right behind Ryan Sieg. Here's Sieg now with help from Kligerman beginning to come forward, and Sieg up to challenge for the lead back to turn 3.
Ryan Sieg rockets to the front by about a half a car length after a great push from Parker Kligerman. Now it is Sieg and Sheldon Creed running wheel to wheel for the top spot off 4.
Ryan Sieg is one of those drivers that would love to make the playoffs in 2025. He right now is in the mix to lead. He came into this race some 38 points below the cut line, but Davies trying to power his way to the bottom of the racetrack and perhaps maybe take home a checkered flag here tonight.
Ryan Sieg on the bottom of the racetrack. Sheldon Creed letting it ride in that outside lane. 2 by 2 back through the top 20 as they exit turn 2.
And Creed will have Austin Hill and Jesse Love and others line up behind him at the midpoint of the super stretch. Ryan Sieg still, trouble coming back off the end of the back straightaway. Everyone goes charging by, and the problem is for Rajah Caruth. His car gets kicked out of line. Caruth making a rare appearance in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He comes to the end of the backstretch, still trying to refire the engine.
We stay under the green flag. The race leaders come flying by the start-finish line. Ryan Sieg has his Ford Mustang at the front of the field. He's going to stay planted right on the bottom side of the racetrack.
As Rajah Caruth limps his way back onto the apron at the far end of the Daytona Superstretch as they exit turn number 2. It's side by side for the point. Sieg on the inside, Creed on the outside.
Creed is there and he fights on in the outside lane. Sieg not willing to give an inch. These two continue side by side all the way back to corner number 3. Austin Hill and Parker Kligerman there as well.
Austin Hill second in line on the outside lane, right behind Sheldon Creed. Creed continuing the battle with Ryan Sieg for the top spot. They're dead even off 4.
2 Fords, 5 Chevrolets, and a Toyota bring the field out of turn number 4. Here's Sheldon Creed in the Ford to the outside of Ryan Sieg's Ford. Sheldon Creed will go to the top of the leaderboard, but Ryan Sieg is trying to rally back down low to no avail.
Let's see if Sieg can fill the hole to the inside of the racetrack. He is creeping up on the low line. Sheldon Creed does not move down the block. That allows Sieg to pull even. It allows Sieg to put a nose up for the lead.
Parker Kligerman still there, pushing on right behind Ryan Sieg. Creed, a stubborn foe, though, to the outside lane. Creed to the outside. Ryan Sieg to the inside.
That's how they run side by side for the lead. In the second row, you've got Parker Kligerman and Austin Hill side by side for third. Justin Allgaier and Jesse Love race for 5th.
3 of the top 4 runners at this stage with 25 to go have never won a NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Sheldon Creed is the race leader. To his left elbow row is Ryan Sieg, both winless at this level. Parker Kligerman is there. He's never won at this level either as they race to turn 1.
A golden opportunity to be a first-time hero. Back around the 12th spot, they're going 3 wide for position as that extreme outside lane begins to populate. Front of the pack, it's Creed by a fender.
Creed is there. He's got the lead, but maybe not for long. Ryan Sieg is still there. Sieg has been there for the last several laps, and Sieg is still there in turn 3.
And for the moment, the top 10 cars that are all side by side with each other remain content in line. It is outside of the top 10 that they are starting to get 3 wide.
Here they come off the corner, double wide for the lead, 3 wide further back, while we collect our breaths and catch them before the intensity of the race ramps up. Let's let you know where your favorite driver's running. 24 to go. Ryan Sieg leads Sheldon Creed. You've got Parker Kligerman in 3rd. 4th is Austin Hill. 5th is Justin Allgaier. Jesse Love is 6th. Daniel Dye is 7th. Dean Thompson is 8th. Christian Eck is 9th. And Josh.
2 cars out of the race. Anthony Alfredo in 37th and Parker Retzloff 38th.
23 laps to go at Daytona. The field hits the Daytona Superstretch.
With Sheldon Creed and his red and yellow Ford showing the way. But he's got Austin Hill there right behind him, and he's got Ryan Sieg, who will not go away.
Ryan Sieg continuing to fight hard on the bottom of the racetrack, now draws even with Sheldon Creed. As a matter of fact, Sieg inches out by a couple of feet in the race lead off the corner.
Here they come back off turn number 4 to the flat transition, the short straightaway before the 18 degrees of banking and the tri-oval here at Daytona. Still side by side at the front of the field. Ryan Sieg led that lap by 1/100th of a second over Sheldon Creed.
They are side by side, nobody giving up an inch. Sheldon Creed crowding Ryan Sieg down onto the double yellow line, trying to break up the air and get an advantage. Doesn't work. They're still nose to nose.
Couple of Fords going at it for the lead at Daytona. Sheldon Creed versus Ryan Sieg, and then a pair of Chevrolets line up behind them. Austin Hill to the outside of Parker Kligerman.
That's how they run in the 2nd row. In the 3rd row, side by side, are Justin Allgaier and Jesse Love. Then you have the machine of Matt DiBenedetto and Dean Thompson wheel to wheel.
Still landlocked at the front of the field right now. Nobody can get through this Ryan Sieg, Sheldon Creed wheel to wheel battle for the lead. Parker Kligerman stacked up there on the inside. Austin Hill stacked up behind Creed on the outside, and double wide drafting help behind them for endless rows.
How many times tonight have we seen the front row contestants just go door to door, nose to nose, nobody able to get more than a 2 or 3 foot advantage lap after lap, and they're at it again as they race side by side.
Neither line this time up the superstretch able to gain an advantage or move forward or make any kind of progress. Door to door all the way through the field.
And you almost get the sense that everybody right now is just biding their time, trying to figure out how their car is handling in the draft and figure out what they need to do to try to win this race.
Here they come up off of turn number 4, still dead even. It sounds like a broken record, but it's just the simple way they're racing here at Daytona tonight at 190 miles per hour. Still wheel to wheel. Nobody has a distinct advantage, just the occasional side draft that happens in one.
Every once in a while, someone back around 15th will pick out a 3 wide move going into turn 1. 3 or 4 others may go with them, but it never seems to last very long. It's strictly 2 by 2.
Justin Haley, one of the drivers just outside the top 10, a couple of times has started to stack a 3 wide move to driver's right up next to the safer barrier, but no one willing to help.
As that has happened, Ryan Sieg has been able to get out by about a car length in the lead. Sieg was upstairs trying to block Sheldon Creed a moment ago. Now he's back down to the bottom to pick up Kligerman.
Here they come now, back to the main straightaway. 19 laps to go. Steve Post, is everybody good to go on fuel to the checkered flag?
Yeah, Mike, they are good to go. The fuel window is just over 40 laps, 41, 42 laps. The stage break was 40 laps from the end, so it was 3 or 4 laps before they came down and fueled the cars, then a few caution laps, and even a few more caution laps. Listen to the radio traffic. Every time there's a caution, they're told to save fuel for maybe green, white, checkered finishes, but staying on the advertised distance of this race, they're good for fuel.
So that's good news for everybody out there. Let's hope we just hit the advertised distance and don't have any kind of overtime racing here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. You know, we've gone, 10, 11 races in a row now without an overtime, and I hope I didn't jinx that. But racing hard here at Daytona up off of turn number 4. Things begin to settle down. If you call single file for first and second settling down, they're double wide still everywhere else. but it's Ryan Sieg up front. Parker Kligerman now in his tire tracks with Justin Allgaier third in line.
2 by 2 inches apart all the way back through the top 20. Almost starts to seem ordinary after a while. It's great news for Ryan Sieg. He's got sole possession of the lead as Parker Kligerman drafts up onto his back bumper.
Then you've got Justin Allgaier, who lines up in third. Again, all of this in the outside lane, followed by Sheldon Creed, Austin Hill, Jesse Love, and others.
The pack that was double wide all through the field has now started to get single file towards the top side of the racetrack. That's where the top 5 cars run. It's Sieg, Kligerman, Allgaier, Sheldon Creed, and Austin Hill.
First side-by-side battle right now is where Matt DiBenedetto has stepped out of line. He's racing in a wheel-to-wheel battle with Jesse Love. However, the outside line has more cars in it. That draft begins to creep closer to the front.
Yeah, this is a rare moment of calm at the front of the field. Top 5, 6, maybe 7 have all gone single file to the top of the racetrack. They are led by Ryan Sieg off turn 2.
Got Matt DiBenedetto at the head of the line down to the inside, coming up off the bottom of turn number 2. He's got Leland Honeyman there behind him. Sammy Smith is trying to work his way back up through the running order off to turn 3.
All those cars file their way into the banking in turn 3. Now here's Austin Hill at a line. He jumps down to the bottom of the racetrack, bypasses Sheldon Creed, draws even with Justin Allgaier for third place.
Does Austin Hill, his teammate Jesse Love now on the bottom of the racetrack. They're going to try to pull the bottom line closer to the front. Things began to break up just a bit. 16 laps to go in tonight's race. The outside lane still has the advantage.
Richard Childress Racing teammates trying to join hands here and drag that bottom lane, kicking and screaming toward the front of the pack. They're up into a side-by-side battle for third. Now for second, here comes Austin Hill.
Austin Hill with Jesse Love right behind him as they continue to try to work toward the front of the field. Ryan Sieg, though, is the race leader with Parker Kligerman second.
That's the top 2. Meanwhile, though, here is Austin Hill with his RCR teammate of Jesse Love in lockstep formation behind him. They are pulling even with the race lead off turn 4.
Austin Hill tiptoeing closer to the front of the lead, front of the field that is. He's trying to take the lead with 15 to go. He's there at the start-finish line. He'll lead by 1/10 of a second over Sieg, Kligerman, Love, and Allgaier. They're the top 5, 15 to go at Daytona.
Jesse Love trying to creep up onto the back bumper of his teammate Austin Hill. Hill leads it, but only by a fender off turn number 2.
Ryan Sieg rallies back around to the outside. Here's Sieg now. He gets a narrow lead at the midpoint of the super stretch. Help from Parker Kligerman. Austin Hill still there to the inside.
Austin Hill has some drafting help with Jesse Love, Matt DiBenedetto, and the Leland Honeyman Chevrolet all lined up on the bottom of the racetrack in his rearview mirror. The leader, though, off 4 is still Ryan Sieg.
Ryan Sieg controls things as the car at the front all by himself. They're stacked up too wide behind them as they come back across the line. Down to 14 laps to go. The energy picks up in the draft yet again, Dave, as the laps get fewer.
Outside lane begins to pick up a little bit of a little extra juice right now. Ryan Sieg with a little kick in the shorts from the super sub. Parker Kligerman driving for Connor Zillage. He's up to second.
Justin Allgaier, Sheldon Creed, also part of that outside line of traffic. And then you still got Austin Hill. He's working down to the inside, but losing ground off the end of the backstretch.
And Ryan Sieg, the leader, has had opportunities to jump down to the bottom part of the racetrack. He has refused to do so at this point. He is remaining committed to the outside lane. He's got Parker Kligerman giving him some drafting assistance.
Ryan Sieg now leads from the outside with Kligerman in his hip pocket. Wheel to wheel for third. Austin Hill to the inside, Justin Allgaier to the outside, and they're lined up double wide about 9 rows behind them as things take a moment of calm among the front 2.
The opportunity is definitely there for Ryan Sieg to drop down and throw a block. He's declined to do so far, and the tactic has worked as he continues to show the way.
He's got Parker Kligerman lined up directly behind him. Now, as far as the bottom lane goes, to driver's left, it is still Austin Hill and Jesse Love and Matt DiBenedetto and Sammy Smith trying to get something going.
And those 5 cars, Kurt, are fighting hard on the bottom of the racetrack. They just don't have the numbers or the momentum right now, but they are giving it their best effort, trying to get to the top spot.
Here they come back off turn number 4. Ryan Sieg on the outside lane still has the momentum, still has the lead. This his 391st career Xfinity Series start, has never visited victory lane in his career at this level. He's trying to do it here tonight at the World Center of Racing.
Early on, the bottom was clearly the fast way around, but it is often the case here at Daytona. As the race goes on, the fast lane migrates upward, and right now, Ryan Sieg has got a handful of the top lane.
His Ford, red, white, and black, has the lead coming off the end of the super stretch. He's still got Parker Kligerman there behind him in second.
Still no change in the top two, top three. It is still Ryan Sieg, Parker Kligerman, and Justin Allgaier single file against the safer barrier. Austin Hill, trouble behind him. Big crash in the middle of the corner. There goes the Taylor Gray car. Other cars spin and crash in the middle of the corner. It looks like Josh Bilicki has been involved in this one. A couple of other cars have slid down to the infield grass. Jeremy Clements among them as well. This happened about the middle part of the pack in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Josh Bilicki has now grabbed a gear and is attempting to drive away. So is Jeremy Clements. Taylor Gray, heavy damage to his Toyota Supra. He has now just gotten out of the infield grass in turn 4.
So for the 5th time tonight, the caution flag flies for that multi-car crash described by Tim Catalfamo out in turns 3 and 4. This was at the back of the lead draft, working the way through turns 3 and 4. It all started when Taylor Gray cut down. It looked like a left rear tire, lost control of his car, and everybody else went for the ride after that. We're down to 10 laps to go in the Wawa 250.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. From legendary races to heart-pounding finishes, NASCAR Channel is your 24/7 pit stop for all things NASCAR. Streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the world's greatest drivers. Dive into the NASCAR culture with shows about the cars, the teams, and the personalities that make it America's most exciting motorsport. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Start streaming now on Tubi.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
This is Jesse Love, and you're listening to the NASCAR Xfinity Series on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Down to just 9 laps to go, this time by the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola. Pit lane is opened up for those who elect to come in without penalty. They can do so now. With 9 laps to go, I don't foresee any of the front draft cars electing to come in here. Maybe some towards the tail end of the field.
Looks like Nick Sanchez is making the move to come onto the pit lane. Looks like maybe Dean Thompson as well. Let's cover the Nick Sanchez stop in front of Wendy.
Nick Sanchez makes his pit stop down there. Looks like they're going to change all 4 Goodyear tires on that orange and white Chevrolet. As other beat-up race cars, Steve Post, are down there in front of you right now.
A lot of walking wounded ones down here. Dean Thompson has brought his car in. He's one of the few that are driving down here on pit road. He really has trashed the right side of that car. All the paint is scuffed off from it. right behind him. Jeremy Clements is down there. The right front fender is off. The left front fender is off. He's going to need a few fenders and a bunch of other things as Jeremy Clements has got damage. About 5 pit boxes hit. In fact, Jeremy Clements is going to the garage area. Taylor Gray is in. The right front is just tore off his Toyota. It has been a rough outing. The left side is all dinged up from the front to the back. So lots of wounded race cars down on this end of pit road as we're in the waning laps of this one here this evening.
So that is the story from the pit lane. Drivers involved in crashes and whatnot. Jeremy Clements took a hard shot over there on the apron, and he's having to take that car to the garage, not the ending to his Wawa 250, that is, that he was looking for. So when the field comes back to the line, it'll be 8 laps to go. Then we're going to get to the nitty-gritty. A lot hangs in the balance, Alex, and as you know and I know, that when we get to restarts at this stage of the race, they have a tendency to get a bit spicy.
Yeah, they do, and that's something NASCAR is going to pay close attention to because, again, you cannot lock bumpers in this series, so they're going to pay close attention to that. There could be penalties if NASCAR deems that they did so. Not only that, just pure aggression. There's guys that want to win. Even if you've already got wins this year and you're in the playoffs, to visit Victory Lane at the Daytona International Speedway is sacred. Everybody's trying to do just that. Austin Hill's won here 3 times, albeit all in the month of February. He's never won the summer race here at Daytona, has on Austin Hill. As a matter of fact, his average finish in this race is 22.7. So the luck that he has and the skill that he shows in February, well, it's just not there typically in the summer race. But today is a different day.
Yeah, it's interesting how the successes that we describe of Austin Hill had been confined to the month of February, and August doesn't seem to be that fruitful for them here. However, they're still quite potent. I mean, that's still, between Jesse Love and Austin Hill and everything, I think that they've got a shot to win this race. However, you've got a hungry driver in Ryan Sieg who's trying to win his way in to playoff contention. You've also got Matt DiBenedetto inside of the top 10. Christian Eckes for Colleague Racing. You've also got Jeb Burton. He's trying to win and get in. He's fighting for his playoff life as well. So you've got about 3 or 4 different strategies. You got 3 or 4 different agendas all wrapped into the top 10. And then when you factor in single-digit laps left, then you turn them loose. That's when things have a tendency to get interesting.
It does, because with Ryan Sieg leading the race, and if he goes on to win this thing, that will punt Harrison Burton out of the playoff picture. And currently, as we sit with Ryan Sieg, the race leader, that means Burton is out right now by 22 points. So Harrison Burton has just now become a fan of everybody else not named Ryan Sieg here in tonight's race to keep his playoff hopes alive, with still 1 race remaining on the road course in the Pacific Northwest out at Portland, Oregon. So there's an awful lot to still take place here in the closing laps of tonight's race, the Wawa 250 here at Daytona.
Yeah, you mentioned, Alex, going out to the Pacific Northwest at Portland International Raceway. That road course race happening this coming Saturday, actually 1 week from tomorrow. Motor Racing Network will have the call of that as we follow the NASCAR Craftsman trucks and the NASCAR Cup cars to Darlington. The following weekend for the Xfinity Series, the regular season finale at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. That is on Saturday, September the 6th. And then the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs begin Friday night, September the 12th at Bristol Motor Speedway. All of those racetracks have tickets available. And if you have the opportunity, swing on by. Take yourself on out and see some great NASCAR Xfinity Series racing.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic run to the season finale and championship weekend at Phoenix Raceway. Right now, we got this one to settle here tonight. Ryan Sieg, Dave Moody, he's a man on an island right now by himself at the front of the field. He is surrounded by Junior Motorsports cars in Parker Kligerman and Justin Allgaier, as well as Richard Childress Racing cars in Austin Hill and Jesse Love.
Yeah, and the thing about that, though, Alex, is Austin Hill and Jesse Love being teammates, they can work together, but they may have to push Ryan Sieg to the lead first to try and find some empty racetrack to make some moves of their own. So it'll be very interesting to see what what Ryan Sieg can do from the outside of row 1.
Kurt Becker, what do you think's going to break loose in front of you on the Daytona Superstretch?
Well, it seems like that everybody has yet to really move all the chips to the center of the table. There have been different drivers come to the front. You've had Austin Hill kind of looming in the shadows. Parker Kligerman's back up toward the front. Justin Allgaier may be the sleeper here as they work off the end of the super stretch.
And Tim Catalfamo, if they haven't laid their cards on the table by the time they get to you, this is the last chance.
It is their last opportunity to pull out and make a move, and I don't think we've seen all of the drivers that are going to play a role in how this shakes out really make a name for themselves just yet. We've got a long way to go still in this race.
6 laps remain when they come to the start-finish line. Parker Kligerman will restart to the inside of Ryan Sieg. Everybody lined up 2 by 2 by 2 behind the pace car. It's anyone's race right now as the Wawa 250 winds its way to conclusion. And we are live on the Motor Racing Network. So glad you're spending your Friday evening with us as we begin to wrap up our coverage from the World Center of Racing.
Back in the restart zone we go. Green flag goes in the air. On the gas, everybody accelerates through the gearbox. Outside lane is the control car. That's Ryan Sieg. Inside is Junior Motorsports Chevrolet's Allgaier shoving Parker Kligerman, trying to get him to the lead.
Nobody getting the verdict yet, though. They are side by side, 2 by 2. Jesse Love all by himself in the number 5 position. Sheldon Creed did not get a good jump on the green flag.
Here comes Parker Kligerman. Here they come onto the backstretch. One more time. Austin Hill is still there. Ryan Sieg has a narrow lead. Kligerman's there to the inside. Allgaier gives him a push.
Justin Allgaier shoving Parker Kligerman out front right now. Allgaier still on the back bumper of Kligerman in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Now it's Kligerman, the leader, by a car length off the corner.
Parker Kligerman driving in relief for Connor Zilic will take his WeatherTech Chevrolet to the top of the leaderboard with 5 laps to go. Ryan Sieg behind him. Austin Hill wedges his way to the inside of Sieg. Side by side for second, back to 1.
Austin Hill with a power move trying to bust his way out of the pack. He's not quite there yet. Oh, he runs Sieg up the racetrack. Now dives back down to the double yellow line. It's going to work. Austin Hill by a nose for second.
Here's Hill. He's there. Parker Kligerman has the lead, though. Kligerman moves out in front of Ryan Sieg. Here's Hill. He dives to the inside. Kligerman slams the door.
And as that is happening, Leland Honeyman trying to go up the middle, 3 wide, racing around Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love, and Christian Eckes. They're side by side for second behind the leader, Kligerman.
4 laps to go this time by, and it is on at Daytona. Up front, Parker Kligerman in relief for Connor Zilic. He's got the lead. The outside lane on this trouble. Ryan Sieg gets turned off the front bumper of Leland Honeyman. Other cars go sliding down to the inside skid pad. Multiple cars in the crash. It all was triggered on the exit of the 18-degree tri-oval. Outside at the front of that outside lane, Ryan Sieg got a bump trap from Leland Honeyman, turned him to driver's left, pointed him right in front of the rest of the field, and Mike, that puts us under the caution flag.
Dave, let's get a roll call. We've got damaged cars rolling in front of you. Who do you got?
They peeled the nose off the Williams Sawalich car like a gigantic banana. He is limping down on the apron of the racetrack. He may make his way back. He may not. Josh Williams is torn up. Jeb Burton, his car torn stem to stern right now. He is limping home in a shower of sparks. Eric Almirola is torn up. Harrison Burton has got some damage on his machine. Here comes the Ryan Sieg car. That one is just torn to bits. A couple of other cars down on the apron as well. That was a massive digger heading off into turn 1.
Yeah, it was, to say the least, and it took out a bunch of really good race cars. But the good news is they're still rolling. They should be able to get some of those cars patched back up and potentially get out there to get this race finished. Other cars, Mike, I'm not so sure they're going to have that kind of fortune.
I don't believe they will. That started when everything got tangled up coming out of the tri-oval and into the short straightaway, heading into turn number 1. We just got done singing the praises of Ryan Sieg and how he was trying to win his way into the playoffs. He got punted back in the pack, and then there was contact that was made there looked like a pretty aggressive move or two that was made. Probably, fifth or sixth on back?
Yeah, it was. And Leland Honeyman went from the bottom of the track to the top to try to get on the back bumper of Sieg. And Sieg tried to put the block on. Contact was made. Honeyman really nowhere to go. He had a full head of steam. That turned him hard, did Ryan Sieg down the racetrack into Christian Eckes. So Eckes, you can add him to the mix as well. And that'll put us under the caution flag for the sixth time with 5 laps to go.
From legendary races to heart-pounding finishes, NASCAR Channel is your 24/7 pit stop for all things NASCAR. Streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the world's greatest drivers. Dive into the NASCAR culture with shows about the cars, the teams, and the personalities that make it America's most exciting motorsport. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Start streaming now on Tubi.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale Show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by SDP. Earnhardt second.
The 1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is Justin Allgaier, and you're listening to the NASCAR Xfinity Series on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We are headed to overtime here in the Wawa 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here at Daytona. The multi-car crash at the exit of the Tri-Oval triggered from the outside lane. Ryan Sieg was up there, got turned around off the front bumper of Leland Honeyman, and it was on from there. Multiple cars involved in it. And that'll slow us down under the caution flag. Parker Kligerman is the race leader. Austin Hill is second. Justin Allgaier third. Leland Honeyman is still running. He's fourth. Jesse Love is fifth. The rest of the top 10. We'll see Sammy Smith in sixth. Sam Mayer seventh. Brandon Jones eighth. Brennan Poole is ninth. And Nick Sanchez is 10th.
Well, right now, we're looking at Ryan Sieg's team repair the damage or try to assess the damage of his NASCAR Xfinity Series car. Problem is, Postman, that when they get done with this, it looks like it could race in the next Whelen Modified Tour race at Monadnock.
Yeah, you know, repairing the damage or just yanking all of the dangling parts off from this race car. Right front fender is gone, the hood is gone, and right now they're working with the big saws to take the nose piece, the bumper cover, and the whole nose piece off from that car. So working to do that. It looks like the left front fender is not far behind it. They got some damage on the rear of it, so seeing a lot of damage on his car. 3 pit boxes in front of him. Christian Eckes is here. Christian has got just right front damage on that car as it came hobbling down pit road. They needed a new tire, and they're working on the right front fender of the Christian Eckes car. Jason, as I look down pit road, I think Sheldon Creed was in front of you.
Yeah, Sheldon almost made it through it. He got a little bit of damage on the left front of that Ford Mustang, so they came in, pulled the fender out, put some Bear Bond on it to make sure that they get clearance there on that left side tire to try to finish things off here for Sheldon Creed. Wendy?
On this end of pit road, William Sawalich still sits stopped as they're putting Bear Bond on the left front wheel well area and the left front fender. Also on pit road was Jeb Burton multiple times to fix damage on his machine. Eric Almirola also on my end of pit road involved in that crash.
Clearly, carnage is beginning to mount here for a lot of these drivers late in the going here as we're headed to overtime. Next time by, we will reach lap number 100, which is the advertised distance, but we're headed to overtime. In just a moment, we'll explain how all that works. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network is live at Daytona International Speedway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, racing the Wawa 250. My name is Alex Hayden. Mike Bagley joins me topside here. Dave Moody out in turns 1 and 2, rather. Kurt Becker on the Daytona Superstretch. Tim Catalfamo in turns 3 and 4. Steve Post, Jason Toy, and Wendy Venturini up and down the pit lane.
We are wrapping up caution flag number 6 here. A multi-car crash taking place coming out of the tri-oval into the short straightaway into turn number 1. Safety teams have basically carried all the cars back to the garage, back to the pit lane, and right now giving the track a good once over. So should be a couple of laps before we go back under the green flag. Alex, when we do, it's going to set up NASCAR overtime.
So what we do is how it works is we'll take the green flag. If there's a caution flag before the leader gets back around to the start-finish line to take the white flag, we'll slow everything down and re-rack them and do it all over again. We'll have unlimited attempts at doing that particular procedure. However, the green flag comes out. We race under green conditions all the way around one lap. The leader takes the white flag at the start-finish line. Should there be a caution, the field will be frozen right then when the caution is called, and the driver out front will be declared the winner. That is something we hope doesn't happen. Basically, leader takes the white flag, the next flag would end the race.
And that is the synopsis of NASCAR overtime. Unlimited attempts. Got to get back to the white flag. And we've seen Alex time and time again. Things get a little dicey around the racetrack. Don't come back to the white. Don't take the white flag. Caution flag comes out. Repeat the whole process all over again.
And a driver has to factor that into their strategy, trying to place themselves for the win, because you understand you'd like to ideally think this is going to go to the actual checkered flag, no matter at the end of the race or in overtime, so you can position yourself for a last lap pass to try to win the race. However, everybody knows that there is a likelihood that there can be some shenanigans on the final lap after the white has come out. So you would like, at least if I'm the driver, I want to be at the front of the field after the white flag goes in the air, because you can almost count sometimes that there's going to be a caution and you'll be declared the winner.
If you're just joining us, this most recent caution, 9 drivers collected in this. Daniel Dye, William Sawalich, Ryan Sieg, Josh Williams, Jeb Burton, Matt DiBenedetto, Harrison Burton, Eric Almirola, and Christian Eckes all came to grief coming out of the tri-oval. Looks like we're about buttoned up, and we can get to the NASCAR overtime portion of the process. The question is, who's going to be able to hang on? Who's going to be able to survive and take the checkered flag here tonight?
And if you're keeping score at home, and let's face it, we know you are, there have been more caution or overtimes rather here at Daytona for the Xfinity Series than any other track we race at. And this is the first overtime we've had in the Xfinity Series since all the way back in May at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's been 10 races since we've last had an overtime here in the Xfinity Series. So it's been quite the while, and let's hope this is our only overtime period. As we get the one to go here at the start-finish line, drivers will now choose what lane to restart in. First to choose is Parker Kligerman. He'll go to the bottom of the racetrack. Austin Hill opts for the outside lane, so Austin Hill takes that. Then you've got the junior motorsports car of Justin Allgaier. No surprise, he'll go to the inside on the back bumper of his teammate. And Leland Honeyman, the 4th driver to choose, opts for the outside lane behind Austin Hill.
Then you get back to Jesse Love, who will restart in position number 5. Brandon Jones will restart in 6th. Sammy Smith will start 7th. Sam Mayer 8th. Brennan Poole 9th. 10th is Nick Sanchez. How about Natalie Decker? She will restart in the 11th position. Dean Thompson restarts in 12th. Harrison Burton in 13th. Patrick Emmerling 14th. Garrett Smithley in 15th. You got Kyle Segan 16th, the Joey Gason 17th, Josh Bilicki will restart in 18th, Justin Haley 19th, and Blaine Perkins in 20th.
You mentioned Natalie Decker. This is her 13th Xfinity Series start. Puts her in the top 10 as far as females in the Xfinity Series when starts are counted. Patty Moise has the most starts in the Xfinity Series with 133 career Xfinity Series starts. So let's see how this one plays out with Natalie Decker trying to get a top 10 finish here at Daytona tonight.
Here's a stat of the day for you. The last time a driver was replaced and the car went on to win happened at Milwaukee Mile, the AT&T 250, 2007. That's where Eric Almirola was covering for Denny Hamlin in the Rockwell Automation car. Denny was in Sonoma, tried to get to Milwaukee. The helicopter couldn't land. They had to start the race. Well, Denny finally got on the ground, and at the first caution, Eric Almirola was pulled in. Denny got in the car, went on to win the race, but Eric Almirola got credit for the win.
Yeah, he did, and Eric was hot because he was leading the race on that as well, and was the driver to beat that night, was mad that he had to get out of the race car, understood the scenario because Rockwell Automation was paying Denny to be a part of that race. Here we go. Into the restart zone. Green flag goes in the air. Overtime is underway. Through the gearbox they go. Side by side at the front of the field. Inside lane. Oh, and there's contact at the front. Austin Hill nearly got turned by Leland Honeyman. That shuffles the deck.
He hangs onto it, but Leland Honeyman gets shuffled 3 wide to the outside. He's going to go backwards because there's no help in the rear view mirror. Front of the pack, Parker Kligerman away by a car length.
Here's Justin Allgaier. He's there in the second position. Now Allgaier is cranking it up down low. Here he comes. He is charging for the lead. Bring on the Hellman Chevrolet.
Justin Allgaier looking for some running room, but Parker Kligerman throws the block into turn 3. Now it's Allgaier side by side with Sammy Smith for second, headed back to the front straightaway.
Parker Kligerman emerges from the pack. He storms into the tri-oval. Here they come. White flag is waving to the start-finish line. They take it. The next flag will end it, whether it be yellow or checkered. Kligerman with the lead, but here comes Allgaier to the inside.
Justin Allgaier diving to the inside of the racetrack as it's an all Junior Motorsports front 3 right now. Kligerman by half a car length up top. Down low it's Allgaier. Topside Sammy Smith. They'll battle for second and third.
Parker Kligerman with the lead. He moves from right to left. He shuts off the lane for Allgaier. Now he has to move the opposite direction. Here comes Sammy Smith. Now the lane is open for Allgaier.
Allgaier still fighting with Sammy Smith as Parker Kligerman holds about a half a car length advantage, and they're wrecking further back. Almost half the field crashes as they work their way out of 4.
Caution is on the speedway out front. It's Parker Kligerman. Kligerman in relief for Connor Zilisch, and Parker Kligerman comes to the line clearly out front all by himself when the caution flag came out. Parker Kligerman in relief gets the win at Daytona. Unofficially, the top 5, Parker Kligerman, Justin Allgaier, Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, and Jesse Love. Let's go to pit road.
I'll tell you, Marty Lindley and this crew down here, Marty, you've had all kinds of scenarios this year. How about this one, picking up the win?
Man, you just can't make this up. It's been a story, kind of a storybook year. I hated so much what happened to Connor, but I'm really appreciative of Parker Kligerman filling in and doing this for us today.
Great job, that's for sure. That's Marty Lindley, the winning crew chief. The winning driver is on top of the pit box. The winning team owner down here happy as well. So Parker Kligerman is going to drive Connor Zilich's winning race car to victory lane, I think.
It's amazing how things turn out. We mentioned a moment ago, the last time this happened was 18 years ago at the Milwaukee Mile. The field comes to grief in turns 3 and 4, but it's Parker Kligerman who had already taken the white flag, and now the checkered flag is a winner of the Wawa 250.
NASCAR fans, today may be your lucky day. The Daytona 50/50 drawing is back to support the VetTix Foundation as the NASCAR Cup Series arrives in Daytona for the Coke Zero Sugar 400. Over $850,000 has been won by NASCAR fans since 2018, and you can be next. Jackpot keeps growing with every sale, and the winning number will be drawn August 24th. Buy your tickets right now at Daytona5050.com for a chance to win and give something to those who gave. Must be over 18 and in the state of Florida at the time of purchase to play. See all rules and regulations at Daytona5050.com.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history, the driver's last shot at the playoffs, your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR Weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
NASCAR Live Race Day continues on the Motor Racing Network.
We are back at Daytona International Speedway. The Wawa 250 is over. Parker Kligerman driving in relief for Connor Zilisch has won tonight. Right now, Parker is sitting on the start-finish line. Connor is sprinting from the pit box all the way over to the race car, and Parker gives him a gentle hug as obviously Connor is still nursing that collarbone injury. We'll talk to Parker Kligerman in a moment, but first we head down trackside to talk to some of the other top 5 finishers. We begin with Wendy.
Sammy Smith out of the car comes home third tonight at Daytona, just talking with Justin Allgaier. A lot of these cars have a lot of damage. How much was it holding on to you, holding on for it for you, Sammy?
Yeah, it was a great car all day. We rode a really fast Pilot Chevrolet. The guys did an incredible job. This is definitely our best speedway race so far. We got damage there, and yeah, sucks, but great job for JRM 1, 2, 3, and yeah, we'll just keep digging.
That's Sammy Smith coming home third with Bearbond flying around the hood pin of his machine when he came to the start-finish line. Steve Post.
He said 1, 2, 3. We've covered Connor Zilisch and Parker Kligerman on the start-finish line. Sammy is third. How about Justin Allgaier, second place? Justin, just kind of describe how your second-place finish happened here tonight.
Yeah, first of all, really a good day for the company, right? To get all 3 Chevrolets, Hendrick Engine Power up there, and to just have the day that we have. I mean, Parker's a great road racer. He's a great road racer, but he's also a good super speedway racer. And, that team's worked really hard this week. So hats off to the 88 team. I thought we had him there for a brief moment. Our helmet